On to E, budget amendment, 2013 budget expenditures, resolution 2013-20. Treasurer Salentine.
Okay, first I'd like to mention I need to change my resolution number to 2013-22. And the budget amendments that were placed in your packet are line item movements basically within the budget, nothing coming from the general fund, so they're just increases in budget line items, because the items are going to be going over with this next check run, and items that we were coming over. All items in the fire department have been discussed with Chief Buchholz. If you look at the fire department contracted services, the 5,500 is the number I placed in there for their heating unit, which is the next line item. Just so, because the item, there was no funds for that, so we moved it from the town hall up to the fire department.
I'll move to adopt resolution number 2013-22.
Is there a second? I'll second it. Is there a discussion? Mr. Bansky?
Jamie, in the past, we have repaired other appliances, utility-type appliances through the town hall. What's the reason for the change requiring the budget amendment?
For the town hall and the fire department end, it was changed to over on his items. When his items get fixed, they're in his section of the budget.
Right, but his section of the budget specifically in the past is only regarding repairs, has been targeted towards his vehicles and equipment. It has not been a building-related appliance.
Okay.
I'm just wondering.
I put it under fire
the
department under
change.
contracted services, because that's what it would be considered for his heater end.
Do we have funds sufficient in the
So-
$5,500 amount within the town hall repair?
The supplies and expenses we do. That's where I was taking the 2,500 and, or I'm sorry, the 5,500 and the 2,000. Because we need items moved into the contracted services for town hall and grounds.
What are the suggested costs, or what's the purpose for the $2,000 being moved? I mean, what are we trying to do with it?
Oh, we're short.
Based on bills that we currently have, or based
Yes.
on work we know we need to do?
No, bills that we currently have, but let me double check for that section. The bills that are going to be coming up, we'll be shy,
So,
under town hall and
like
grounds.
these that are here in front of us tonight to
Contracted services.
approve?
Correct. No, I'm getting, no, within the future, this is not gonna make it with the regular billings, because we're going through the contracted services, going with between the fire department, that has been split out, and not on this end. It was switched out in the previous year, so that number will be shy with what's going.
So they're not debts that we've already encountered or
Correct.
encumbered? These are,
Not all
Like
of these, some of
utility
these
bills
have been
that we're gonna-
encountered, yes. With this last billing. Do you want me to go through it, or?
Anything further? Roll call vote, please.
Chairman Merrick,
Yes.
Supervisor Laska,
No.
Supervisor Fisher,
Yes.
Supervisor Wolf,
No.
Supervisor Bansky.
No.
Motion failed. I'm gonna need to go back through the billings, because you won't be able to approve some bills tonight.
On to item F, which is now kind of irrelevant because the funds for the heat exchanger replacement in the fire department were within that budget resolution, and we no longer have the funds to do it, so we can't take action on it. Dan, you better get a warmer coat. Mr. Bansky.
Jamie, perhaps I misunderstood you, but I thought I asked specifically if the funds for the 5,500 were available within the town hall facilities for repairs, and I believe you said yes.
I did say get that. That is correct.
Thank you.
Within supplies, Mr. Bansky, that's where the money was coming from, town hall grounds and supplies, and I don't know if that applies.
I would make a motion that we authorize Chairman Dan
I
to fix
apologize.
his heat exchanger and take the money from the town hall supplies fund, if that's the fund that is available in.
You need a budget amendment, Joe. You can't take money out of one account and put it into another account without a budget amendment.
It can be called a supply. It certainly is a supply needed to keep the fire department warm, so Dan doesn't need a nice roasty toasty jacket.
No, Mr. Bansky, it is not a supply. It is a heat exchanger. It is a RTU sitting on the roof of the building. It is not a paper clip. It is not a bundle of paper. It is a repair to town hall.
Well, you can obstruct that if you'd like.
Oh, I'm not obstructing it. I voted yes.
Mr. Chairman, can I, we can circle back to this, but can I speak to the issue at hand?
Yes.
You all should have a copy in front of you of a single-page proposal from TICO Mechanical Incorporated, dated October 16th, 2013. And backing up a bit on this, I don't remember the date certain, but back a number of weeks ago when we went into the heating season here, the rooftop unit that basically does the office area of the fire department was not running or did not start. So being the Building and Grounds Committee chairperson, I contacted TICO Mechanical for a service call. They came out, they made a service call on it, got the unit restarted, and when they made that service call, the service technician discovered that there were some holes in the heat exchanger. The technician that was here did not think that the holes were overly large. That's a concern, however, because in a natural gas fired unit like that with holes in the heat exchanger, there's the potential to get the products of combustion, including the possibility of carbon monoxide into the airstream, and we certainly don't want to be blowing that into the building. So it is a cause of significant concern. They provided the proposal before you with two different options. One is to replace, and this is a repair procedure, the heat exchanger assembly. Their proposal for doing that was $2,100 to replace the entirety of the unit, which is an existing 3-ton, it's a combination heating and air conditioning unit, York unit with a new 3-ton York unit with an economizer on it, a cost of $5,100 or $3,000 more, indicating that any of the costs for permitting, and that's an issue when we do work at town hall, whether we charge ourselves for a permit or not, passed on at cost, so that's not included in the proposal. And if there would be any line voltage electrical work, probably with that second proposal with the unit replacement, that would be by others. After this proposal dated October 16th was submitted, you had another service call with an outage. Another technician came, and that was in, I think, about a week ago, give or take, and the service technician indicated a concern on that those holes in the heat exchanger that he found were perhaps even bigger than the first technician thought they were. So we are commanded here, gentlemen, to deal with safety of the building. We have no choice but to act on this in order to do so responsibly. The choice is there between two options. I mean, certainly there's the possibility of getting another competitive quotation or two. One other piece of information, when they came back for the last service call, they tested the compressor, which is part of the air conditioning component, and they pronounced that, based on their test, to be in very good condition. That unit is about 11 or 12 years old, so I think that's something to consider. If that would not have tested out well, my recommendation would be to replace the entire unit. In as much as that tested out well, my recommendation would be to go for the heat exchanger replacement for $2,100, but that's certainly a topic of discussion for all of you. So that's what I have to share with you. This is a matter of urgency, because if we talk about the potential for carbon monoxide in the building, we're duty bound to act.
Mr. Bansky.
I will modify my motion to approve the item A, to install a OEM heat exchanger assembly not to exceed $2,100. Those funds at the clerk's pleasure could either come out of 51,608 repairs and maintenance, of which currently there's $4,172.02 in that account available as of November 12th, 2013. There's also funds available in account number 57100, general government, which were set aside for town hall improvements.
I'll second your motion, assuming that Clerk Treasurer Salentine can confirm that availability of funds in the first alternative that you suggested.
This is the budget printout, Jamie, 9:53 a.m., November 12th.
No one else shows everything that's gone through. I just, I guess I would defer that over to Supervisor Wolf, because under the repairs and maintenance, and talk to Jerry regarding that, if there's any other upcoming ones. We may end up having to do a budget amendment. That's something upcoming, but just to be aware. And you, all of it, Supervisor Bansky, is coming out of that account? Is that what you're
Sure,
saying?
or the capital expenditure. It looks like Public Works, as far as Jerry's concerned, he has repairs and maintenance, $9,382 available in his repairs and maintenance.
Under capital,
Well, this is under Public Works. I'm just responding to your comment about Supervisor Wolf. If Jerry has some pending repair through the end of the year, it looks like, again, there's $9,300. The
yes.
capital
Correct,
expense
I apologize,
items.
this is under town hall, and under DPW would be theirs,
Right, the capital expenditure items, I know we had set money in the budget aside for other improvements that we wanted to consider within town hall that we did not spend or do on, specifically some of the electrical rewiring and things that we never did.
True, but those
So
would need to
they're-
be realigned, because you specified exactly where they were going to.
Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah, good move. So maybe it looks like the funds are there in 51,608 repairs and maintenance of the town hall grounds. And then if there is something else the town hall needs, we'll have to do a budget.
Can you, reread the motion, please?
I have the TICO Supervisor Vance moved to approve to install the New York OEM heat exchanger assembly. Total installed cost would be $2,100 to come out of the Town Hall and Grounds item number 51600.8, repairs and maintenance.
Any further discussion? Mr. Wolf?
Yes, is this an amount that we should be getting other bids for? Is there a limit to what we need to get more than one bid for?
Yeah. Go ahead, Hector, if you want to weigh in on that.
Unless you,
Go ahead.
$5,000.
But anything under 5,000, we don't need to bid out?
Correct. And under the circumstances, I believe there is some expediency here, safety issue.
I would concur with that, and if it's the pleasure of the board to approve this, I mean, I would think that we need to get that communication, probably if you'll do that, Jamie, to TICO tomorrow, that the board approve this. This isn't something that we want to mess around with. And there will be a bit of service outage time, so hopefully we're not too far into cold weather when that takes place, but this has urgency written all over it.
Anything further?
Who was the second?
I will.
Thank you.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries.